in Houston, Texas, where we both live. He has worked very hard, alhamdulillah, and through Allah's grace and through Allah's mercy, not only did his wife accept Islam, but also his father and his mother and his mother-in-law and his brother-in-law also accepted Islam. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. So we're going to talk a little bit about Dawah and about Hajj. How are you doing today? Alhamdulillah. So tell me about your background. Tell me about growing up in America, what kind of stuff you were part of.
I came to America when I was about 8 years old. My parents brought me to a country that they didn't understand, and alhamdulillah, over a period of years, I developed myself just like any regular teenager there. I did a lot of things that my parents were not satisfied with, being that the environment is not like back in Colombia. I got in some trouble in schools and so on, and they sent me back to Colombia, where I went there for high school. And eventually when I came back and changed my life, or was looking to change, I found Islam. And in the course of about 1 year's worth of study in Islam, based on going to the different masajid in Houston, I accepted Islam. And alhamdulillah, 3 months later, my father accepted Islam. My wife accepted Islam about a week later. My mother then later on accepted Islam about 3.5 years later. Some of my wife's family members, like her little brother at the age of 15 years old, accepted Islam. And just at the birth of my first child, about 7 months ago, my mother-in-law also accepted Islam, alhamdulillah.
Allahu Akbar, alhamdulillah. So wind on this ledge is pretty dangerous, subhanallah. So okay, tell me about, and I just want to ask you now, mashallah, you've been to Hajj before, of course. This is a bit of a different experience for you this time. Talk to me about some of the memorable experiences, the moments, the emotional times that you felt this Hajj.
Mashallah. It's a bit different from the last Hajj we performed. I was with my father and my wife, and I was not a Muslim but only about 7 months. Alhamdulillah, there was a sheikh from the Ministry of Islamic Affairs of Saudi Arabia that lived in Houston that arranged for me to come in the group of Prince Abdulaziz, Jazakallah khair, and we made a very easy Hajj, alhamdulillah. Hospitality was great. Now, coming and making Hajj on behalf of my mother, due to the fact that she's now in her 60s and she's not physically able, I have found that it's a bit different. I'm amongst the crowd, and I've been going through the different circumstances, like that of Muzdalifah, for example. It was a lot different. Before in Prince Abdulaziz's group, we had mats and we were able to lay down, and this time I barely slept on the floor, basically just with a blanket. And alhamdulillah, I'm able to acknowledge that it was a blessing coming the way that I did before, but now I'm getting the feeling of Hajj in a different way, based on the fact that we're going through a little bit of hardship, not able to really know what's next as far as buses and timing and so on. But alhamdulillah, it's been great. This experience has been really eye-opening for me.
Now, I know you've been, alhamdulillah, you've been studying a lot. You're one of the people that's really, mashallah, grabbed on to Islam since you accepted it. You've been seeking knowledge. You've been going to this different circles of knowledge, talking with the scholars, trying to increase your knowledge, alhamdulillah. And I remember when we first got to Mecca and you saw the Kaaba and we did the Umrah together, it was very emotional. I could see the emotion on you. And we talked a little bit right after that about your hopes for seeking knowledge. Tell me about that.
Well, me being from Latin America and even North America and in the United States, we don't really have at least one individual who is well grounded in the Arabic language and in Islamic studies doing the work of da'wah. And nowadays, in the United States alone, there is a lot of different people from Latin America, from all over, Central America and Latin America and South America, who are now really questioning their beliefs, questioning their religion, and many people are coming to Islam. Now, when these people come to Islam, there's no one to really guide them along the way and tell them from how to make salah to, you know, the different things that would help them in the process of being a Muslim. So one of the things, being that my parents became Muslim and they themselves don't really know the English language, I hope to, inshallah, study and increase my studies in order to be able to deal with the Spanish people, not only in North America, but in South America, specifically my country of Colombia, which is totally foreign to Islam. They have no clue about Islam. We've made a trip with my family as Muslims, and my whole family was amazed. And as they asked about Islam, as we gave them answers, they really admired us being Muslims. They really liked Islam, but no doubt that I hope that inshallah I'm given the ability by Allah first, then Allah knows best where on the face of the earth, to be able to learn Islam, to be able to take it back to the people, whether it be North America or South America, or my country, inshallah, Colombia.
How many people do you know of, the people of knowledge, scholars, people who have studied, you know, who have in-depth studies in Islamic sciences that live in South America right now?
I can count them with one hand. It's about 5 individuals. Alhamdulillah, some of them have studied al-Qura in Mecca, and others have studied in Medina University. The country of Panama, we have an individual by the name of Prophet MUHAMMED, alhamdulillah. He studied in al-Qura before. We have Yahya in Medina. We have a brother from Argentina and his wife that study in al-Qura as well, in Argentina. We have some brothers in Bolivia. And I've known that there have been 2 brothers from Colombia that have come and only learned the Arabic program and have gone back. But these individuals may be found in Venezuela, which is also a pretty large masjid that exists there. But when you look at the amount of people in a whole continent, which is South America, in relation to what's being done with Islam, is really nothing.
Talk to me about, I mean, so many times we ask new Muslims like yourself, you guys have a different perspective. You see the Islam in a way that we as Muslims who are born with Islam, we just don't see it. Sometimes you can give us an advice in a way that we can't. How would you advise Muslims right now concerning da'wah, and specifically da'wah to Latin America?
Well, first and foremost, we always need to understand the people's background before we speak to them. Every individual is different. Even amongst Christians, every single Christian is not the same. People have different beliefs. People have different needs. In fact, people are seeking different answers. I know I myself as a youth, I was trying to find out why I was put in this earth and where I was going to go after I died. There are certain individuals that already, you know, have gone through that sort of thought process, and now they're just looking to see, you know, what is the best way of life in relation to, you know, raising their families, maybe as their father, as they are, you know, the head of the household, being father, or maybe the mother now wants to know how they can better manage their husbands because their husbands are going out and doing things that she's not pleased with. So, alhamdulillah, Islam is a whole way of life, and if we can understand the people who we talk to, especially if we're talking in relation to the Spanish people. The Spanish people are very fitri, they're very natural, and they really want to do what's good, but they haven't really had any instruction since back in the days of Spain. Of course, the Muslims were there for 800 years. We have over 5,000 words from the Arabic language in Spanish, but really Islam has been wiped out from our homeland, and we don't really understand it. So being that we have a whole system of life, whenever we identify their needs, then we can give them accordingly in order to bring them to the worship of Allah. And once they hear that we only worship Allah alone, and that we don't worship anything else, and that we really honor Jesus and Mary, alayhi salam, this is all good news for them, and they're willing to accept. It's just a matter of people speaking to them, engaging in conversation, and really caring for them. And once they see this, inshallah ta'ala, Allah guides whom He wills.
Jazakallah khair, brother. Wallahi, we appreciate the advice. We're so happy that you were able to come with us. We ask Allah to accept the Hajj of all of us, inshallah, and to accept all of our dua, and to make us better people, and give us the strength to work on the da'wah. Give us the strength to take this obligation seriously. Jazakallah khair. So next, inshallah, we're going to be talking with a couple of other brothers who also have accepted Islam recently. They're coming and making the Hajj with us.
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك